You toss, you turn, and in the silence of midnight your body lies still, but your mind races like a storm without a shore. You replay conversations. You regret missed chances. You imagine what could go wrong tomorrow. You fear the things you cannot see. And worse, the things you cannot control. Sleep doesn't flee because the room is noisy. Sleep flees because you are. But listen closely, this isn't insomnia. It's a soul that hasn't been taught to surrender. A mind that hasn't been trained to let go. And this is where the Stoics lived and thrived, in the space between your thoughts and your peace. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the Roman world, had more reasons than anyone to stay awake. Wars to fight, betrayals to foresee, plagues to endure. And yet, his words echo across millennia. If you seek tranquility, do less, or do what's essential, and do it with discipline. Let all else go. There it is, the Stoic trick. Not a hack, not a secret, but a discipline. Let it go. Not in weakness, but in power. Because sleep doesn't come to those who run from life. It comes to those who accept it. You don't need 8 hours of escape. You need 5 minutes of peace. 5 minutes of seeing the truth. That nothing outside your control is worth the torment you give it. Tonight, you learn to stop negotiating with ghosts. You stop arguing with tomorrow. You stop carrying what was never yours to begin with. The world spins on whether you solve it or not. And that is your freedom. Your mind is not your enemy. It just needs a leader. You want to sleep better? Start here. Stop being the victim of your thoughts. Start being their master. Talk to them. Command them. Audit them. Because every thought you allow past midnight is either a servant or a thief. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." The things that rob your sleep, they don't exist. Not yet, not now, and maybe never. But you feed them. You rehearse them. You write them new scripts every night. You make them kings and monsters and tyrants inside your head. Then you wonder why you wake up tired. It's because you're fighting wars that never happened. So let's declare the war over. Let's do what the Stoics did. Simplify, strip away, return to the core. You are alive. You are breathing. You are safe. And that is enough. The weight that sits on your chest at 2 a.m., it isn't the world. It's the illusion that you must carry it. But what if you didn't? What if, just for tonight, you trusted the process? Trusted that you've done your part. Trusted that you can do the rest when the sun returns. Imagine you were a soldier. The battle is over. The sun is down. Would you sleep with your armor on? Would you march in your dreams? No. You'd rest so you could rise. And that is what sleep truly is, not a retreat, but a ritual. A Stoic ritual. A sacred reset. The bed is not your battlefield. It is your temple. And to enter it, you must first disarm. Drop the sword of what-ifs. Remove the armor of expectations. Step inside bare, honest present. Because no one can steal your peace unless you hand it to them. No anxiety, no deadline, no rejection or silence or regret has any authority in this room. Unless you say yes. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us and some are not." Tonight, your task is simple. Separate them. Name them. Divide them. And release the rest. The Stoics didn't sleep because life was easy. They slept because they understood what wasn't theirs to fix. So breathe. Again. Slowly. This breath is yours. This moment is yours. And this night will not be stolen by 1,000 futures you cannot touch. You are here. And that is more than enough. Close your eyes. Not to escape the world, but to return to yourself. Because here's the truth they don't tell you. You're not tired because of what happened today. You're tired because of what you're still carrying. Conversations you should have ended. Mistakes you never forgave yourself for. Expectations you never agreed to. Fears that don't belong in your chest. And the constant illusion that you must fix everything before your head touches the pillow. But you don't. You never did. You were never meant to control the wind. Only your sail. And tonight it's time to lower that sail. Your body knows what to do. It was made for rest. But your mind, your restless, brilliant, burdened mind, has forgotten how to stop running. So teach it. Let it, like a wise king leads a noisy court, not by silencing everything, but by choosing what's worth hearing. Ask yourself, is this useful now? If not, it doesn't get your energy. Not tonight. Not anymore. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal before bed. Not to record achievements, but to empty himself. To put thoughts on paper, not on his soul. To create space. Because wisdom lives in silence. And silence only comes when you let go. So write it down. Burn it. Speak it to the dark and leave it there. You are not a prison for thoughts. You are a gatekeeper. And the gate is closed. What will tomorrow ask of you? You'll find out when you get there. What if it's hard? You'll survive like you always do. But right now, none of that matters. What matters is the calm, the stillness, the ability to lie in the storm and not flinch. Imagine being on a ship, lost in fog. The captain doesn't panic. He trusts the compass. And your compass is stillness. Stillness is not passivity. It's precision. The strength without force. Action without frenzy. Sleep, real sleep, is the result of a soul in alignment. Not with the world, but with itself. You've been out of alignment, pulled in too many directions, measured by metrics that mean nothing. So tonight, realign. Ask yourself, did I live today with intention? Did I act according to what I value? And if the answer is no, forgive yourself. And if the answer is yes, rest with pride. Because this is how the Stoics lived, in alignment, between thought and action, between control and surrender, between presence and preparation. And you can live that way too. It starts with breath, then presence, then permission to rest. Not because everything's done, but because you are worthy of rest anyway. Let the night be your teacher. Let it remind you that darkness is not an enemy. It is a reset, a rebirth, a gift. Only those who trust the night will rise with the dawn. So fall into it, with courage. Let the day dissolve. Let your mind settle like sand in water. Let go of trying to be everything, fix everything, anticipate everything. You are not a god. You are not a machine. You are a human being, a breath, a heartbeat, a soul in a body. And that is beautiful. You have done enough. You have been enough. You are enough. Let the noise fade. Let the worry shrink. Let the future stay in the future. And tonight, just tonight, sleep like a stoic. Sleep is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's not the absence of thought, but the mastery of it. The discipline to say, this can wait. My peace cannot. Most people lie awake because they have trained themselves to react, not reflect, to grasp, not release. But you are no longer most people. You are becoming what the world forgot. Calm in chaos, still in storms, anchored in the tide. You are learning what Epictetus knew, that your power lies not in events, but in how you meet them. And how you meet the night is how you meet life. Do you meet it with fear or with faith? Do you run from the dark or walk into it like a soldier walking home? There is nothing in this moment asking you to perform, to prove, to compete, to please. There is only one task left for tonight. Surrender. Not to the chaos, but to the calm within. You are not the drama in your inbox. You are not the silence from people who don't see your worth. You are not the project left unfinished, the future unwritten, the version of you that didn't win today. You are what remains when the noise fades, what stands when the world sleeps. And that version of you, silent, strong, still, is the real you. Let that version breathe. Let that version lead. Now listen. Not with your ears, but with your body. It speaks in signals you often ignore. That ache in your shoulders, that tightness in your jaw, that buzzing behind your eyes. It's not weakness. It's not a flaw. It's a whisper. I need rest. And you owe it that, because you've carried too much for too long without pause. You've said yes too often, worried too deeply, judged yourself too harshly, and through it all, you've survived. But survival is not the goal anymore. Peace is. So breathe. Longer this time. Feel the breath fill your chest. Slow your pulse. Remind your mind who's in charge. This is what the Stoics knew, not just in words but in ritual. To prepare the soul for sleep is to prepare it for strength. Because tomorrow brings new trials, new unknowns. But if you rest tonight, truly rest, you will not fear them. You will meet them like a calm sea meets a storm. Not with panic, but with presence. And that presence starts now. Turn off the need to explain yourself, to prove yourself, to plan what you'll say, how you'll win, where you'll go. Turn it off like you turn off a lamp. Not because the world is done, but because your part in it is done for today. You've done enough. Repeat that if you must. Out loud, in your head, on the inside of your skin. I've done enough. I've said enough. I've worried enough. Now I rest. Because in this moment nothing else matters. Not the approval you didn't get. Not the mistake you made last week. Not the opportunity you missed. The message left unread. The door that didn't open. All of it is dust outside your window. And the only thing that matters is the silence within. So find it. Not by force. Not by chasing. But by returning. To the breath. To the body. To now. You are not waiting for sleep to come. You are creating space for it to arrive. The same way the Stoics created space for peace in the midst of war, you are carving out stillness in the midst of noise. This is the Stoic trick. Not a technique. Not a mantra. But a mindset. I control what I allow. And tonight you allow peace. You allow quiet. You allow yourself, the real you, to rest without condition. Not when you've earned it. Not when it's perfect. But now. Because you are a human being, not a human doing. And the world needs more beings who are whole. Grounded. Clear. Ready. And that begins with sleep. And when your head sinks into the pillow, it is not a defeat. It is a return. A return to center. A return to the still, deep part of you that the world could never touch. The Stoics knew this. That peace wasn't something you chased. It was something you protected. Something you cultivated like a garden inside. And every night they returned to it. With thought. With breath. With ritual. Marcus Aurelius called it retreating into the self. He didn't need a mountain. He didn't need a temple. He didn't need the world to quiet down. He simply turned inward and found silence there. You can too. Because that silence is always waiting. Under the noise. Beneath the questions. Beneath the pressure to be someone for everyone else. It's there. That quiet, immovable part of you that doesn't flinch. Doesn't beg. Doesn't chase. It watches. It breathes. It waits for you to come home. And you will. Tonight you will. Because for once you are not trying to fix the world. You're simply letting yourself be. And when you let go of the world lets go of you. You become light. And in that lightness the body follows. Muscles uncoil. The brow softens. The fists unclench. The breath slows. And the soul returns. This is not the kind of sleep the exhausted collapse into. This is earned peace. Chosen stillness. This is sleep with dignity. Because you did not run from your thoughts. You faced them. You examined them. You released them. That is the Stoic way. Courage isn't just waking up to fight another day. Sometimes courage is knowing when to set the sword down. When to say, enough. When to trust that the work will wait. That your worth isn't in what you produce, but in who you are when nothing is demanded of you. And this version of you, the one lying still under moonlight, not proving anything, not defending anything, just existing, this is the most powerful version of all. Because there is no fear here. No noise. Just breath. Just trust. Just you. You're not broken. You're tired. You're not lost. You're overloaded. You don't need to be more. You need to feel less, to release what doesn't belong. And slowly, like a tide receding, the thoughts fade. The world grows quiet. Not because it changed, but because you did. You chose serenity. You chose mastery. You chose to return to what matters. And when tomorrow comes, it will come. You will meet it like a Stoic. Prepared, grounded, calm. But tonight is not about tomorrow. Tonight is sacred. Tonight belongs to no one else but you. And in this space, this breath, this moment, you are free. So let go of the image. Let go of the performance. Let go of the mental noise disguised as planning, disguised as ambition, disguised as responsibility. Let go of all of it. Because there is a version of strength that doesn't look like power. It looks like stillness. And that stillness is yours. Now breathe one more time, but not like before. This time, feel it enter your body like peace, not air. Let it wrap around your chest. Let it reach your fingers. Let it tell your nervous system, you are safe. You are whole. You are done. This day is done. This burden is done. This chase is done. Sleep now, not like a prisoner escaping life, but like a king returning to his throne. And as you lie there, feel what the Stoics felt beneath the stars of ancient Rome, that nothing outside you could ever own your peace unless you permitted it. Not the empire, not the judgment, not even death. They stood on the edge of the world and declared, "We are not disturbed by things, but by the view we take of them." And in the stillness of night, they let those views go. They released the need to control outcomes. They found power in simplicity, joy in presence, rest in reason. So let that wisdom live in your bones tonight, not as an idea but as a state of being. You are not lying in bed to escape life. You are lying down to honor it, to honor the fact that you showed up, that you endured, that you tried again today. Maybe you failed. So did Seneca. Maybe you got hurt. So did Marcus. Maybe you feel lost. So did every soul who ever stood under the night sky and wondered what it all means. You're not alone. You are not the first to ache. You will not be the last to heal. But right now, you are exactly where you need to be. Not ahead. Not behind. Here. In the quiet. In the moment between thoughts, between breaths, between days. This is the most sacred place on earth. Not because it's quiet, but because you're finally listening. Listening to yourself. To your limits. To your truth. And your truth is this: you are not meant to run forever. You are not built to burn for every cause, every fear, every demand. You are built to rest, to renew, to rise. And rising only happens when you've let yourself fall, not into chaos, but into calm. So fall into the softness of this bed, into the safety of this room, into the power of this silence. Let the voices go. Let the fears dissolve. Let the expectations untangle. Let the world run its own race. You're not in it right now. You're in something deeper, a remembering. Remembering that your worth is not your output, that your value is not your speed, that your soul is not for sale to anxiety. The Stoics didn't pray for ease. They prayed for the strength to endure. And they knew that strength came from rest, from discipline, from clarity. And you have that now. You have walked through the fire of thought, and you are choosing not to be burned. You are choosing serenity. You are choosing your breath. You are choosing to release the grip on what doesn't serve you, and embrace what does. Stillness, trust, surrender. This is the practice. This is the trick. This is the art of being unbothered. Not numb, not careless, but deeply aware and deeply at peace. Because what is more powerful than a person who can look at chaos and still be calm? What is more unshakable than a soul that knows what's within its control and lets go of the rest? What is more heroic than a human who dares to rest while the world demands they don't? You are that hero now. Tonight, you win not by doing more, but by doing less. By closing the book. By turning off the noise. By lying down not in surrender to fear, but in allegiance to self. You sleep not to forget the day but to complete it. Not to escape life but to renew your strength to live it well. So let it all go. Sink. Deeper. And deeper. Until the world fades. Until your thoughts blur. Until your breath and body are one. This is where peace begins. This is what it means to sleep like a Stoic. No alarms are ringing. No enemies at the gate. No judgments in this space. Just the sound of your breath, steady as the sea, and a silence that cradles you like the arms of something eternal. This is not sleep as the world knows it. Restless, fitful, filled with neon light and wandering thoughts. This is sacred sleep. Earned rest. Stoic stillness. The kind of sleep that heals you in places no doctor could ever touch. Because here, in this depth, you are not just sleeping. You are transforming. The fears you let go of tonight, they will not follow you tomorrow. The thoughts you released, they will not weigh you down at sunrise. The wars you stopped fighting, they will not shape your worth. You have returned to yourself, to the core, to the center of your being. The part of you that is untouched by noise, unshaken by the world, and unconcerned with the chaos outside your window. And here you find what the Stoics lived for, ataraxia, a peace that cannot be disturbed. Not because life is easy, but because you are unmoved. This is not a trick of the mind. It's a training, a rewiring, a sacred ritual. And you will do it again tomorrow and the day after that until it is no longer something you try, but something you are. Because the world does not need more people who sleep with worry. It needs people who rest with intention, who rise with clarity, who walk through their days with the serenity of someone who knows, I only carry what's mine to carry. So keep breathing, keep releasing, keep resting, like the world depends on your stillness. Because in a way it does. The people who lead from a calm mind don't shout. They don't grasp. They don't run in 10 directions trying to be everything. They speak clearly. They act decisively. They sleep deeply. And you are becoming that person now. Inhale again, not as an effort, but as a blessing. Feel it move through your ribs, through your back, into your hands, down your legs. Feel the body remember what safety feels like. You are not in danger. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are exactly where you need to be, in this breath, in this bed, in this body that has done so much for you. Say thank you to your lungs, to your heart, to your weary shoulders and busy hands and the legs that carried you through today. Say thank you by letting them rest, by not asking for more, by not demanding one more effort, one more plan, one more solution. You don't need to solve the world tonight. You just need to honor that you're part of it. And even the stars rest. Even the tide pulls back. Even the mountain sleeps beneath the moon. So who are you not to rest? Who are you to deny yourself what the universe itself surrenders to? And when you wake, not if, but when, you'll rise not frantic, but focused. Not behind, but exactly on time. Because you'll rise not as someone who fought for rest, but as someone who claimed it. The Stoic does not beg for peace. They choose it. They live it. They protect it. Fiercely, quietly, consistently. And tonight, you are no longer chasing calm. You are calm. You are no longer asking the mind to stop. You are simply no longer listening to what doesn't serve. The door is closed. The noise is gone. The breath remains. And you are home. You are whole. You are finally at rest. Sleep now. Sleep deeply. Sleep like someone who knows that the world can wait, because tonight you come first. And in this moment, nothing is missing. Not love. Not clarity. Not strength. You've remembered what the world so often makes us forget. That the most courageous act isn't to conquer, but to release. To be still when everything pulls you toward movement. To be silent when your thoughts scream. To be soft when the world teaches you to harden. That's Stoic power. The power not to react. The power to rest when everything in you was conditioned to fight. Right now, your nervous system is relearning its ancient rhythm. The one that was buried under deadlines and digital noise. The rhythm of nature. The rhythm of night. The rhythm that says, it is safe to let go. And your breath, it's no longer a survival tool. It's an instrument of peace. Each inhale, a reminder that you're alive. Each exhale, a release of everything that is not yours. And slowly, gently, the mind recedes. The thoughts grow quiet. The body speaks louder. And the soul glows. Because when you remove what doesn't belong, what's left is essence. The pure, focused, grounded version of you. You before the fear. You before the pressure. You before the comparison. You just as you were meant to be. You're not just sleeping tonight. You're remembering. Remembering how to be. Remembering how to feel. Remembering how to stop. You don't need more strategies. You need fewer distractions. You don't need more motivation. You need more permission. Permission to exist without conditions. To be a human being, not a performance, not a production machine, not a list of unfinished tasks. Just breath. Just awareness. Just sleep. Because all the strength in the world means nothing if you don't know how to return to peace. All the success in the world means nothing if your mind never rests. And all the wisdom of the Stoics means nothing if it doesn't become your own. But tonight it has. You have become what they taught. Not by memorizing quotes, but by living them. You took Epictetus' discipline, Seneca's clarity, Marcus Aurelius' calm, and you've woven them into your breath, into your body, into your soul. So now let go of even this voice. Let it fade like the final note of a song that has filled your heart and now bows out in silence. You don't need more words. You don't need more guidance. You've already arrived. Let the darkness cover you like a warm ocean. Let the silence hold you like ancient stone. Let the bed become not a place but a state of being. And let your final waking thought be this: I am at peace. I am free. I am whole. And then, nothing. No resistance. No fight. Only stillness. Only rest. Only the deep, silent knowing. You are safe. You are strong. You are done. Sleep now, Stoic. Let the silence deepen now. Let it become more than quiet. Let it become presence. The kind of presence that doesn't ask, doesn't reach, doesn't push. It simply is. Like a mountain standing in the dark, unmoved by the wind, untouched by the chaos beneath. Because that's who you are now. Not the spinning wheel of thoughts, but the axis. Not the flickering shadow, but the flame. Not the noise, but the space in which the noise dissolves. And isn't that what you've been missing? Not sleep, but permission. Permission to stop fighting, to stop proving, to stop holding on to everything the world taught you to carry. Because here's the truth. Most of what weighs you down was never yours in the first place. The imagined expectations, the invisible scoreboard, the voices of people who haven't lived a second in your skin. All of it fiction. And here, in the sacred dark, in the sanctuary of this breath, that fiction has no power. You have nothing left to do tonight but exist. And even that isn't something you earn. It's your right, your birthright, your baseline. The Stoics understood this, that our greatest power was never in what we did, but in what we chose to release. The pain? It's a teacher. The silence? It's a guide. The fear? Just a shadow asking to be understood. But none of it defines you. None of it owns you. So let it go now. Not with resistance, but with grace. Let your body fall further into the mattress. Let your heart slow its beat, not from exhaustion, but from peace. You are not falling asleep. You are rising into calm. And the deeper you go, the lighter you become. Your mind no longer needs to guard the gates. Your body no longer needs to protect itself from imagined futures. Your soul, the truest part of you, is finally free to just be. There is no effort now. No goal. No ambition. Just this moment, suspended in time, like a star hanging in the black velvet sky. And the stars, they don't rush. They don't compare. They don't ask for permission to shine. They simply do. So shine quietly. Even now, even here, in sleep, there is a strength in your stillness that the world cannot replicate. And when you wake, the world will not have changed, but you will. You will walk lighter. You will speak slower. You will listen deeper. Because the noise will no longer live inside you. You've returned to your power. Not through noise, but through silence. Not through achievement, but through alignment. Not through control, but through letting go. This is what real control looks like. Not grasping tighter, but releasing with wisdom. You have become that wisdom now. Let that truth settle into every cell, every breath, every corner of your resting mind. You are peace. You are presence. You are enough exactly as you are, with nothing added, nothing fixed. So sleep now. Let go completely. Let the dreamless dark embrace you like the arms of the Stoic gods themselves. Strong, calm, eternal. You have done enough. You are enough. And you are finally free. There is a silence now so deep, so sacred, that to enter it is to be remade. This is not sleep in the way most people know it. Not the kind of unconscious collapse from exhaustion, not the restless drift through digital static and leftover stress. No, this is the kind of sleep the ancients sought, the kind of sleep emperors prayed for, the kind forged by mastery of self, not medication or distraction. This is intentional oblivion, a return to the source of strength. Because when you sleep like this, you don't wake up confused. You wake up clear. You don't rise dreading the day. You rise ready to meet it. Not because the world is easier, but because you are stronger. That's what this night is building in you. A foundation, a fortress, a state of stillness so profound that even storms pass over it like mist over the ocean. Marcus Aurelius had to lead legions into battle, had to outlast betrayal, had to rule with reason while the world demanded chaos. But even he said, the tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or do, only what you do. And tonight you've done it. You've let go of what they said. You've released what they did. You've focused on what you do right here, right now. You've chosen peace when the world sells panic. You've chosen presence where others chase distraction. You've chosen stillness in a world addicted to noise. And this choice, this quiet, personal, invisible choice, is what separates the restless from the powerful. Because real power is not measured by volume. It's measured by intention. By the one who sleeps with their mind aligned. By the one who dreams without desperation. By the one who walks through their day so centered that the chaos around them breaks. Not them. And that now is you. You are becoming the person others feel calmer around. The one whose presence slows the room. The one whose breath is deliberate, whose gaze is grounded, whose thoughts are disciplined not by force, but by clarity. And that clarity, it begins here, in this silence, in this sleep. This is not the end of the day. It is the beginning of who you're becoming. And when you rise, not too soon, not rushed, you will rise with quiet fire. With a steadiness that doesn't need to be loud. With a focus that doesn't need to convince anyone. Because when you've slept like a Stoic, you don't need to explain. You simply are. You walk into rooms and change their energy. You move through problems without becoming them. You speak less but say more. Because you've trained your mind in the dark to serve you in the light. This is not fiction. This is discipline. And tonight, you've honored it. So as you drift now, deeper into that place where the thinking mind disappears and the ancient mind remains, trust that you are safe. No harm can find you here. No regret can reach you. No fear can follow you into this realm. You are not the same person who laid down tonight. You are softer. You are stronger. You are aligned not with perfection but with peace. Let yourself drift. Let yourself dissolve. Let yourself become air. Become light. Become nothing. And in that nothingness, become everything. Because this is where the Stoic lives, not just in the world of strategy and action, but in the sacred stillness between days. In the shadows where sleep is not weakness, but wisdom. Where silence is not absence, but presence. And where rest is not retreat but a revolution. Feel that? That deep, radiant calm spreading from your chest outward? That's what it feels like to be in full alignment. No internal noise. No imagined emergencies. Just the breath. Just the body. Just being. You're no longer forcing rest. You're becoming it. Like a lake whose surface finally stills after hours of wind. What was once turbulent now reflects the moon. Perfectly. And that moon, that light, is you. You are the calm after the storm. And in this rare state, time loses its grip. The future can't reach you. The past can't pull you. You are suspended in a sacred moment that belongs to no clock, no screen, no one's agenda but your own. And in that stillness, you begin to heal. Not just your mind, not just your body, but your spirit. Because the soul isn't nourished by noise. It's nourished by depth, by truth, by silence. The kind of silence you're in right now, the kind that doesn't ask you to fix anything, but reminds you that you were never broken. This is who you are beneath the roles, beneath the effort, beneath the layers the world asks you to wear. Presence, a force, a quiet storm of purpose and peace. And here's the truth. If the world knew how powerful you were when you sleep like this, it would try to keep you awake forever. Because a human who sleeps deeply wakes up dangerous, not with rage but with clarity. Not to fight, but to lead. And the Stoics were leaders, not because they had armies, but because they had mastery over the one army that matters most, their own mind. So tonight you joined their ranks, not by conquering a city, but by conquering the chaos within. You saw your thoughts. You didn't run. You faced them. You stripped them of their lies. You let them float past like clouds. And you found beneath all of it, peace. A peace that is yours now. Yours to protect. Yours to return to every night without apology. Because from this place you no longer need to seek motivation. You become the motivation. You no longer need to seek calm. You embody it. This is the gift of sleep done right. Not a break from life, but a deeper entry into it. The quiet reminder that your power does not come from effort alone. It comes from alignment, and alignment comes from rest. So rest now fully. No flinching. No questioning. No thinking about how long this will last. It lasts as long as you need it to. And that, too, is your power, the power to choose when to let go. You've built your day. You've faced your storms. And now you lay down the tools. You remove the armor. You leave the battlefield not as a soldier defeated, but as a general who knows. The real war is won in stillness. This sleep is not passive. It's strategic. This rest is not indulgent. It's essential. This silence is not emptiness. It's preparation. Preparation for tomorrow. Preparation to lead. Preparation to love more clearly. Speak more wisely. Live more truthfully. So inhale one final time. Deep, controlled, centered. And exhale everything that does not belong. Let it leave your body like smoke. Let it vanish like dust in moonlight. Let it be done. You are safe. You are steady. You are whole. You are home. Sleep now, not like someone escaping life, but like someone ready to meet it. Because when dawn comes, it will not find you tired. It will find you forged. It will find you stoic. And when dawn does rise, it won't interrupt your sleep. It will greet it, the way the sea greets the sun. Not with panic, but with presence. Because this rest you're in now isn't shallow. It runs deep. It's not a pause. It's a transformation. You are not the same person who laid down tonight. Something in you has shifted. Not suddenly, not loudly, but irreversibly. You've remembered how to return to yourself. And not just for a moment, but forever. Because the Stoic trick isn't just for tonight. It's for every night after. It's for every time the world demands urgency and you respond with stillness. Every time life hands you chaos and you give it calm. Every time your thoughts spin out and you say, not now, not here. I choose peace. That is your power now. The ability to choose, not react. To respond with presence, not panic. To rest, not because everything is perfect, but because you are grounded regardless of what is not. The world may keep spinning. Let it. Let others rush. Let others fear. Let others drown in noise. But you will move slowly, deliberately, like a lion in tall grass, like a mountain unmoved by wind, like a stoic, anchored in values, ruled by clarity, untouched by illusion. Because when you own your rest, you own your energy. And when you own your energy, you own your life. It's not about sleeping longer. It's about sleeping truer. You don't need hours. You need honesty. And this moment, this breath, this depth, is the most honest you've been all day. No mask. No pressure. No performance. Just truth. And in that truth, there is no place for fear. No space for shame. No role for regret. Only a body ready to heal. A heart ready to open. a mind ready to soften, a soul ready to rise. You are not a collection of unfinished tasks. You are not the absence of someone else's approval. You are not the projection of a fear-based world. You are a sovereign being. You are clarity wrapped in skin. You are strength whispered through breath. You are peace earned. And you will carry this into tomorrow, not as motivation that fades, but as identity, the identity of someone who owns their attention, who protects their spirit, who masters their inner world so completely, the outer world bows in response. So drift now even deeper. Let the night hold you like an oath. Let your breath become silence. Let your silence become space. Let your space become nothing. And in that nothing, that beautiful, unshaped, infinite void, feel yourself dissolve into the truth the Stoics lived and died by. You control your mind. You control your peace. You control your sleep. Everything else is just noise. And tonight, the noise is gone. It's just you now, whole, weightless, infinite. Sleep, Stoic. The world will be waiting, but it can wait, because you are resting like a god. And as you descend into the final layers of rest, you no longer cling to consciousness like a lifeline. You let go completely, not in fear, but in faith. Faith that the world will continue turning. Faith that your worth isn't tied to your effort. Faith that when you wake, you'll be ready, not because everything is easy, but because your spirit is undisturbed. This is not just sleep. It is a vow to no longer sacrifice your peace for problems that don't belong to you. A vow to no longer give your inner stillness away for cheap comfort or borrowed fear. This moment, this quiet, is your proof that clarity can live without noise, that power can be soft, that progress can begin in surrender. You've been taught to conquer days, to chase mornings, to win nights, but the Stoics knew you conquer nothing until you conquer yourself. And conquering yourself begins here, not with a fight, but with a breath, not with struggle, but with the discipline to release. Release the calendar. Release the should-haves. Release the fear of tomorrow and the ghost of yesterday. Nothing is chasing you now. And if your mind returns with its old stories, tell it gently. Not tonight. I've heard enough. I am resting now. Because you are not obligated to revisit what you've already survived. You are not required to carry burdens simply because they are familiar. You are not here to hold the weight of the world. You are here to be, to breathe, to rest, to reclaim. Reclaim the space between thoughts. Reclaim the silence between beats. Reclaim the soul that modern life has tried to numb. And in doing so, you're doing what few ever do. You are reuniting with the deepest part of yourself. The part that doesn't need fixing. The part that was never broken. The part that has always known. You are enough. This sleep, this sacred silence, is a return to that knowing. And when your eyes open again, they won't just open to the morning light. They will open to perspective, to choice, to the calm of one who is no longer ruled by thought, but guided by wisdom. The Stoic doesn't wake up to run from discomfort. The Stoic wakes up prepared to walk through it, with presence, with purpose, and with peace intact. And you will wake the same, not shaken, but centered, not reactive, but responsive, not exhausted by thought, but energized by truth. You've earned that now. You've earned the right to rest without apology. You've earned the right to drift without shame. You've earned the right to be fully human, in your strength, in your softness, in your stillness. So take the final breath of this night as a seal, not a goodbye but a promise. A promise that from this point forward, your sleep is not just something you fall into, it is something you own. Because you are no longer just a body collapsing from effort. You are a soul aligned with purpose. And when the rest of the world is running, you'll be resting. When others search for clarity, you'll be it. When the storms come again, you'll smile, not because you are immune, but because you are prepared. So sleep now. Sleep like a philosopher who knows the value of his mind. Sleep like a warrior who knows when to lay down his sword. Sleep like a god who needs no crown, no followers, no noise. Only peace. Only breath. Only now. And let these final words dissolve into the silence, as the last flicker of thought fades, and the night fully claims you. I am at peace. I am free. I am whole. And I will sleep like a Stoic.